You're Elvis Presley, and your career is rapidly on the rise. Things couldn't be better, right? Not so fast. Real life, GI Blues come calling. If you're most celebrities, your career's probably in doubt. But it's Elvis. So what does he do? He raises his right hand, takes his oath, and leaves for his patriotic duty. And what about that hip-shaking career? Well, we've got some answers. So stick around and find out, because it's up next on this episode of the ELVIS Impact. And it all starts in just 3, 2, 1, go.
How you doing?
I'm good. Can you maybe wait until I get back up?
I thought you were.
Before
I saw you sitting up.
Before I, get myself together. And then, no, it's good. No, we're gonna let it go.
I thought
because it's real.
I thought you were,
and that really
up.
happened.
I thought you were sitting up.
Yeah, you did it in the last one too.
I'm just so excited to ask you how you are doing.
I am great. How are you?
I'm okay. I mean, just fair. I mean, I've had better days. I've had worse days.
I see.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say, craft service today was really good.
Craft service is excellent today. I still am blown away that we actually have a craft services table, but whatever.
And they don't get enough appreciation, so thank you, craft services.
Well, that's, you gotta, if you're gonna have a show, you might as well.
If you're going to have a studio and a show, you've got to have craft services.
Show, you might as well do this garbage.
Going to do it, go big or go home. That's what Elvis would do.
He would. Well, welcome everybody to the Elvis Impact. I am Todd Papes.
And I am Kathy Lee.
We've got a show that's going to talk about the Army years. And we're also going to talk about the impact from it, because we kind of think, as we got into this a little bit more, things could have gone much differently. Let's put it that way.
Oh, absolutely.
Than they had turned out. So we're going to kind of get into that a little bit today and talk about how that goes. So, we kind of really need to start, I guess, with talking about Elvis gets inducted to the Army, and this was, you said 57 is when he got the notice. Is that right?
December 1957.
So he gets the notice that he's going to be drafted into the Army, and I think then we go to, March of 58?
Correct. He got a 3-month deferment.
All right, so, and why was that?
It was making a film.
Oh, what was it? Which one was it? King Creole?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
I
was going to say it and you said it, and so I just let you. I was just like,
oh, sorry. Now, obviously, at this point, he's already a few movies in. He's already got kind of an established career going. Mm-hmm. He's also one of the biggest and hottest stars there are. Let's face it, he could have easily gotten out of that.
Oh, totally. He could have gotten, yes.
So
with his connections and
So and I think that kind of speaks again a little bit about the character that Elvis was, and then tying that into how that's still part of his roots, part of what he was as a person. He always tried to do, it seemed like, the right thing. He always tried to do, he was called to the Army. This is what he needed to do. I'm sure he was probably worried crazy about.
I'm sure he was scared.
He just started
any
all
young
this.
man that gets drafted is probably scared.
Yeah, and he just from that standpoint alone, because you don't have any idea what's going to happen once you get in there.
And your career, it's like.
Yeah, and then the career is already taking off. So that's also a giant concern, obviously. But he gets drafted in the Army. You see all the famous haircut and everything, and you see him going off
shots. He gets all those shots, mandatory shots.
Yep, and then he gets into the his basic training and so forth. Mm-hmm. Now, is it around this time? I don't remember, where he actually started to meet a couple of the Memphis Mafia guys.
That was moreover when he was in Germany.
Okay, so
everybody.
All right, so that's coming up here. He gets there. He's there. That was March of '58. We're now about summer of 58.
Mm-hmm.
He gets approved for emergency leave to go back home. Gladys is sick, and he's got to go tend to all that.
So Vernon and Elvis buried Gladys,
Mm-hmm.
and being the relationship he had with his mother is very emotional.
Sure. And he was torn up about it. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, everybody knows this. It's not like we're telling you anything new. But the point is just that, this giant emotional devastation that he has, this giant hole in his life. I don't think, too, from what I remember, too, that him and his dad were really overly close. I know that certainly in the later years, as he became bigger, there were stories that seemed like they butted heads a lot. And him and his mom were obviously this unique,
a very, very tight bond.
Yeah.
Mother-son bond.
Yeah. So having this and then being away in the Army, being the uncertainty of what's going on with my career, there had to have been a sense in him that is like beyond consolable, because he has no idea at this point, I'm guessing, what's going to happen. Like everything has just been changed. Everything just got ripped up.
His world has been shaken.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've seen famous picture of him and Vernon on the steps at Graceland, all torn up, But he's got then to get himself together.
He's got to get himself together. No, and then and then he actually September, just the following month is when he boards the ship to go over to Germany.
Okay.
So he was at Fort Hood, and then he actually took a train.
Okay.
Up to New York City to the Brooklyn shipyards. And again, being Elvis, all the other boys were going to a certain pier to load onto the boats, and he had his own pier.
Okay.
Where the colonel had already had the media there, photographers there.
So is this the one we've seen some of the movies where like he's just like waving goodbye to everybody?
Correct.
That's that pier?
All staged by the colonel.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think I knew that. I thought that was just part of like the drop point for everybody, and then obviously the press would show up. But
nope, colonel.
Really?
The colonel. Everything.
So it was totally separate and staged from where everybody else was.
He had his own pier. Wow. He had his own section of the Brooklyn shipyards. He did his interview. They did all those photo ops.
Yeah.
And then he got on the boat, and it took, I believe, 8 days to get over to Germany.
8 days, really?
8 days on a ship.
Were they making stops along the way?
I don't know. Doing? New York to Germany. I don't know. Yeah,
I guess I don't know.
How fast how slow the boat was going.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. So he gets over to Germany, and at that point, then he starts to settle in there. So he gets a private residence set up. I think that was part of it. No.
Yeah. So again, let's stop here. So he's your normal boy that got drafted.
Yeah.
He did his patriotic duty.
Right.
Yes, he got the deferment.
Right.
But he followed through with his patriotic duty of following through and going into the Army. Yet he still had the privilege to have a standalone area to do a press photo op.
True. Yeah.
On September 22nd, 58, when Elvis left the country.
Yeah.
He gets over to Germany.
Yeah.
His father, grandmother, he had a private housing.
Yep.
He was not put into the normal barracks.
Yeah. This was Bad Nauheim, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
But how?
But who? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Who does that? Who does that? And then
how is he not in barracks?
And then the other army enlistees they're probably shaking their head like, how is this guy getting away with it? But on the other hand, it's Elvis. So was there some, I don't know, there could have been. Well, that could be a whole nother episode, if we dig some more.
It could have also been lending to the fact of like why maybe he felt he needed to prove to them. I think he even said that a few times. Like he just felt like he needed to prove that he could, do the maneuvers, do the basic, or at this point, he's beyond
he was
basic
just
training.
He
was just going through and serving just like anybody else, going through all the same training that everybody else was. I think that probably was more of a driving factor, I would think, because it seems like he is the kind of person, or was the kind of person that while he was used to the attention and used to kind of the special treatment, he did not want to put a spotlight on it. So I think in that regard, it seemed like, that's my take. It seemed like then that would be something to where he just pushed himself a little bit further to just kind of assimilate and be one of them.
Be correct. Yeah,
as much as he could, obviously, because he couldn't.
So then once he's over in Germany, there's no Colonel.
Right, that's true.
Colonel didn't leave the States.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of us know why, because, the Colonel was not a U.S. citizen legally. He had, just briefly we'll touch on it, he basically entered the country illegally, and he never applied for citizenship through a couple of opportunities where he could have, but he didn't. And he was afraid that if he went over to try to help manage him, that that was going to go pretty wrong for him. He might not be able to come back.
Yeah, correct.
That said, that might actually have been a good thing, because what happens?
So while Elvis is over in Germany,
yep,
Colonel Parker, being the businessman that he is, he's making sure Elvis stays
relevant.
Yes, and that he's still in the media, that he's still getting attention, that eyes are still on him, and he planned out the release of the various singles, planned out the albums. He kept Elvis's name active.
Yeah.
But yet on the other hand, when Elvis was in Germany, he didn't let Elvis perform overseas.
Yeah, no, that was a big no.
Yeah, no, because you're not performing for free.
Right, yeah.
Everything had to be about money.
Which to that point, I kind of find that hard to believe. Like, how you tell me that
he snuck in. He snuck in.
You don't tell me he didn't. He had a guitar with him. He threw parties at the house. There's no way he didn't throw a couple of songs at some people.
He did.
I mean, I can understand. I mean,
it was kind of like Fight Club, like Colonel Club.
What
happened? I'm going to sing and perform, but don't tell the Colonel. We don't talk about this.
don't. I got it.
No photographs, no press. We don't talk about it.
Yeah, we don't talk about Performance Club.
Yes.
Got it. All right. So, but speaking of parties, we have a scene where Elvis is throwing a party, of course, and at the party there was a girl that was invited. And she decides, hey, I'm going to bring my friend along, and she's going to come to the party with me as well, too. And this friend happened to be Priscilla Beaulieu.
Because her father was military.
Yes. And so he was, I forget what he was. He was some high-ranking person, if I recall. But he's already stationed there, I think. So Priscilla's there. She goes with her girlfriend, the girlfriend, I believe, was the one who was actually invited. And then Priscilla was like the plus one, I think, is how it went. So goes to the party. That's where they meet. Obviously, sparks fly. He's completely infatuated with her.
Oh, she was like a little China doll.
Yeah.
She was flawless.
Yeah. I'm sure after that he asked her back or went to go hang out as well, too. Of course, now he's got to get all this approved by her dad, who's like this.
There was a little age difference. There was an age difference.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of taking something that already had precedent or was around, I think it was just before this, had some precedent for someone else in the music industry, Jerry Lee Lewis, who that did not go so well for him.
Oh, yes.
If you remember that, right?
Yes, he had, at this time, he's already married to his 13-year-old cousin.
Yeah, she was 13, but I'm trying to remember if the timeline was about... I am pretty sure
it's all within
was
the time frame. And then I want to say Chuck Berry there was a story with Chuck Berry taking a minor out of state.
I didn't hear that one. Really?
Bringing the minor into state or taking the minor out of state. Yeah. But
those again, I don't know anything about the Chuck Berry thing, but but Jerry Lee Lewis, that completely derailed his career for a good 10 years.
Yeah.
A good 10 years. Because what happened was he was over, I want to say it was in Europe, England maybe.
Yeah.
And he was on a tour, and next thing you know, we're talking about Jerry Lee. He comes out with his wife, his 13-year-old wife, And of course, because he's on tour, reporters are there. And then she pops up and they start asking, who's this person? Who's this person? And it got really, really uncomfortable to the point of like the rest of that tour got busted. It got canceled. There was such a big blow up about this that, that all derailed Jerry Lee's career. And he found hard times after that. He had such a hard time struggling to get work in the music industry and get back into it. And like I said, a good 10 years. So I am pretty sure if that happened before this, which I think it did,
everything was hush hush. We don't talk about her age.
Yeah.
We keep her hidden.
Well,
and they did not go out in public and flaunt their flirting and their little dating.
It had to be on the
very discreet.
Had to be on the DL, if you will. But also during this time too. Now we're in Germany. Elvis meets a couple of the Memphis Mafia guys.
Yeah, Joe Esposito.
Yeah, you're an Elvis fan.
The Crown and Gingers.
You're fired, man.
The Crown and Ginger Ale's kicking in. Had a little pre-show jitters. Charlie
Hodge. Yeah.
Met
So
Charlie.
those two were.
And I'm sorry for banging on the table, but I was just so proud of myself.
As long as it was on your side of the table.
Yes, it was
all that
on the
matters.
line of demarcation.
Yeah, I was told, just a little inside baseball on this, I was told when we were doing rehearsals for this whole thing that I had a special line I had to keep to myself on this table here, an imaginary line, if you will. And, so because for whatever reason, as you can kind of see, I kind of like crowded a little bit.
Oh, he was all over the table. He had all his stuff. He had his glasses. You had marker. I mean, you were all over my space. And then you're telling me, with the microphone, well, I'm like, well, I need space and everything. So then hence.
So I got
this is my mic space.
I've got a line of.
This is your mic space.
A line of demarcation on here. And I'm pretty sure you just crossed it, just so you know. Whatever. It's your rule. It wasn't mine.
I will talk to my lawyer on Monday.
Yeah, you do that. All right. So anyway, he meets Charlie Hodge. He meets Joe Esposito. Two guys are obviously key in his life. Charlie Hodge helped coordinate his stage shows and so forth. Was one of Elvis's best friends by far.
Very, very close.
Yeah, they're super close. Charlie was able to actually, for many years, live at Graceland when they got back home. And then Joe Esposito was kind of like the man in charge of like the affairs and the activities and the shows and so forth. And again, we're talking a little bit down the road. Kind of like the coordinator of the Memphis Mafia guys. Like he was obviously he was a part of the Memphis Mafia. So technically Charlie was too, but I in my head, I kind of like look at Charlie as like being more of like on the stage presence with the other band members, and not
Joe
necessarily
is behind the scenes.
Yeah, Joe was definitely a part of that whole mafia scene. And then
Charlie was the one who passed out the scarves and handed him the water.
Yeah, you would know that, wouldn't you?
I did it for many years when we had our shows, our
Elvis tribute show. Yeah, these two were ended up being lifelong friends to Elvis. And I
mean, he had so many privileges that the average soldier did not.
Yeah.
So yeah, he definitely got a little preferred treatment.
Okay. We go on a little bit more here. Elvis got a chance to travel a little bit. He was able to travel to Paris, I know, and he got to travel to Munich. But as Elvis is there, aside from being in the army, he starts to kind of really enjoy being overseas, and you kind of like
freedom away from the colonel.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got that whole aspect going on here, and he's like, there is a whole nother world out there outside of Memphis. And the United States, for that matter. So, in the back of his mind, I think it's starting to develop. I can only surmise this from all the things we know down the line later. Is that he's thinking, God, I'd really like to perform here. Obviously, as his popularity grew, he's
internationally known.
There's so many opportunities he can go, and he can go basically tour the world. But of course, we've got that guy back at home in the U.S. that didn't come on the boat with him because he might not have returned. So Elvis eventually gets discharged from the Army in 1960.
Correct.
And then he comes home and
he's right back in the studio.
Right back in it. And the first thing that happened though is he comes home, he gives that press conference at Graceland in Vernon's office.
See, he just crossed my line. And,
I know.
Yeah.
Jeez, oh man.
Yes, the press conference. And again, that everything is arranged. Everything is arranged.
Yeah, see, now I didn't know that. I just thought it was just people.
Everything.
The press was being the press, so they wanted
everything.
to get all
the
this.
Colonel tipped people off.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Yeah.
But so yeah, he gives a press conference in there, and kind of back to what we were talking about before. They pressed him on like, who is this? Did you find a love interest?
Actually, they only got over there about 2 months before I left. I was seeing her, and she was at the airport when I left. And there were some pictures made of her, but there was no big romance.
And Elvis kind of explains this a little bit, and he kind of like blows it off in the conference.
Yeah.
Then he goes to, I think the very first thing the Colonel set up for him once he gets back is the television show with Frank Sinatra. Then I think they did one thing where they were trading songs back and forth or something like that.
Yes.
Like Elvis would sing Frank songs, Frank would sing Elvis. Hey, you do me, like.
Oh, that sounds pretty. What did you ever say?
Yeah, that's right. So,
and the funny thing about it, so here they're doing this duet. Elvis is back from the Army, and then fast forward 10 years down the road, Elvis is like taken out underneath his the Black Hawk, the Stutz.
Yeah.
Yeah, he takes it right out of.
That's
like,
right.
Zing!
That story, like this. Okay, this doesn't tie into the episode at all. But
it's another Sinatra.
We can cut this out.
The Sinatra group.
The Sinatra group. But yeah, so
at Studio E,
Elvis goes to, or is it Studio F? Studio Frank.
You got it, Frank.
You got it, Frank. So Elvis saw a Stutz, can't even say it, Black Hawk car. This was like in the 70s. We're fast forwarding
one
years
of the
later.
kind, first one at this point. This is the first one that's ever been delivered to the United States.
Yeah. So it comes in. Frank Sinatra pre-orders this thing for himself. Elvis happened to call or be there on the day it arrived. I know he was there on the day it arrived, but he for sure. But yeah, tell that.
Oh yeah, he liked that car. Elvis likey, Elvis body. Yeah, he wanted that car. He snatched it right up. And I think that was even the car dealer was he said to the guys, whoever gets here first, whoever buys it first.
But you would think though, if Frank Sinatra ordered the car, wouldn't you have usually you order a car. Of course, maybe it was different back then. You got to put a down payment on it.
But it's business.
Put your specs in and all that stuff.
The car dealership. Car dealer made a nice dollar that day.
But
Elvis didn't even blink. He snatched it right out.
Well, yeah, and then can you imagine? Where's my car? You can imagine Frank.
Yeah, you got this young cat here taking my wheels.
What did you do with my car?
Where's Dino? Dino, beat him up.
I can't, man. I got one too many.
Oh my gosh.
So
we do have fun on this show.
Yes, we do.
And we do this.
This
has been 20 years.
Yeah.
We just go off on these tangents and we crack each other up, actually.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I hope you guys find it humorous because we just crack each other up.
We do. Yeah, so. And if you don't, well, whatever.
So, yeah, so that's the Frank thing. But also when Elvis comes back, he jumps right into the studio with RCA and he records the album Elvis is Back.
Yep.
Which is an awesome album.
Yeah, it really is.
Amazing!
Yeah.
And it had some big dogs on it. It had some big players.
Who's on there?
Who was
Boots.
on Boots Randolph, Floyd Kramer,
Chet Atkins, I think.
Chet Atkins was one of the producers.
Oh,
I'm sure he sat in because he's a musician himself, guitarist.
But it's a great album. If you haven't,
it's
I'm
great.
sure again most of you probably heard that album, but that is a wonderful album. I mean, they were, I think, in the Colonel's mind was probably wanting to make a big splash with Elvis
and
coming
also
back.
think about every song is different. I mean, it shows such a range of his talent
Yeah.
And some of the song, the one, Reconsider Baby, which is bluesy and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the Dirty, Dirty Feeling, which is a little bit more blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then he does some ballads.
Mm-hmm.
Just the range that he could sing after being in the Army for, technically off the circuit.
Right, true.
And he just jumps right back in and he nails that record. I had it on replay, I don't know, 3-4 times.
Yeah.
Great record.
Yeah. I've been trying to get that for my collection. I haven't got, I mean, obviously I can probably, purchase a download, but I'm talking about the actual album. I've been wanting to get that for a while now and just have that. It's just awesome. I had the same reaction. The first time I heard that album, really, I mean, I knew songs of it, but when I actually listened through the album itself and the songs that were on there, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, he had Scotty back, he had DJ back, and they were just in their zone. Yeah. They were hot. And then Floyd Kramer at the piano. I mean, that was
that's
beautiful.
A signature sound. Floyd Kramer on the piano. You can pretty much, if you're into music, you can pretty much pick out a Floyd Kramer tune.
Yes,
like right away.
But I mean, Boots Randolph, the saxophone. Yep. He was cutting it up, and I just think that was just a night. Again, Elvis is back. He's back.
But yeah, so and then from there he just kind of he ends up moving the movie years and so on and so forth. But
which is a whole other episode.
Yeah, the Army years, so it shaped him. It shaped him. It turned out to be good for him. It probably actually turned out to be good PR as well in the long run. I mean, looking back on it.
It matured him.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely matured. He came back different.
Oh, he definitely came back different. You see some of those interviews when he talks, and he's just very sure of himself, very much in command. He is very sharp and to the point of what he's talking about. And when he grew up,
it's almost like he grew up in the Army.
Yeah, for sure. Which, I mean, obviously that's part of what the Army tries to do. Or
made him a man.
To try to...
Well, that's another thing, too. We talked about that the Army also... Maybe that was part of the, some PR work that, if Elvis can be in the Army, you can join.
So anyway, that's our show for the Elvis Impact today. We hope you enjoyed that. And let us know down in the comments or give us some feedback. Were people thinking that, Elvis goes in the Army, that's it for him, he's done? Just give us some feedback. Give your thoughts about all that, too. Even if you weren't around at that point, we'd just love to hear from you. Just hear what you have to say about it.
And I still think he was very, very handsome, even with the crew cut.
Oh, for sure.
Even with the buzz cut, he still was a good looking guy.
Yeah, he definitely was. I mean, especially when he's dressed in that Army
sharp.
garb. Yeah,
very sharp.
And by the way, he ended up when he was discharged, he ended up becoming a sergeant. He started as a private like everybody, and then he came out as a sergeant. So he had that upgraded dress as well.
He wore it very, very well, right, ladies?
And with that, that's all for the Elvis Impact today. We appreciate you tuning in. And until next time, we'll see you later.
Peace.